guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about graduating my first toxic male from homeschool. So yeah, that's what we did this year. We completed one of my kids is a student in homeschool. He is now graduated, 18 years old, and we're done. So we're done with him. So I got one more. And to celebrate, we took my son out, what he requested, to go to a nice restaurant. We went out to a nice restaurant that served steak. He wanted to take his family out, some of his friends out to a place that had steak, and had a great time out there with some friends and family. So he was like, "What do you want for graduation?" That's what I want. And I got to try fiddleheads for the first time. I mentioned that in a previous video. Some of you guys know what I was talking about, fiddleheads. And then I learned from the wait staff that you can actually grow fiddleheads here in the Ozarks. I didn't know that. And there are people who have found these certain fiddleheads and they grow them. And so I was like, I'm working on that. Stay tuned. I may do more videos on fiddleheads. And this was not a chain restaurant. We went to a very nice place. No Cisco trucks are filling this place with food. There are real chefs in the back making the food. You had fresh spring asparagus. Fantastic. It was a great night. Had a lot of fun. But that was the graduation present he wanted. So we did that. But yeah, I have raised now a toxic American male. So I'm contributing to the problem that the liberals think are out there, and so I'm happy about that. But I want to talk about a little bit of what we did this year. A couple of the assignments, a couple of things we concentrated on, and just kind of give you some ideas on how you might be able to do some things. Really, there's no excuse these days when it comes to homeschool. There is just so much opportunity. I get a lot of questions from parents, sometimes a lot of single parents, because I am single and they want to know, hey, how do you do this? How do you pull it off? And the reality is there's just no excuse anymore for you not to do this. I really encourage people to go to some of these homeschool conventions, especially some of the big ones, the great homeschool conventions. There are big ones in St. Louis and just all throughout the country. And see the curriculum, hear the speakers, and just soak in all of the knowledge that these people who have all of this experience in homeschooling can teach you. And the amount of curriculum that is available today, even for people who are single, who are stretched, have so many things to do, is unbelievable. You can make it work. I know it seems like a really hard thing to do, and sometimes it can be, but you can make it work. So let me just encourage you that way, first off. The main assignment we did this year, we did science and we did some writing and some other things along with all this. But the main assignment for my senior this year was to write a page on each point that is made, or each historical instance that has been made in the Billy Joel song, "We Didn't Start the Fire." Okay, you probably heard that song. It came out in the 1980s. Billy Joel, "We Didn't Start the Fire." And he lists off a number of historical occurrences or reference points. And I wanted my student to go ahead and make a page entry into a journal that he could research that topic and then write about it. And so by doing that, you're learning history, you're getting research abilities, you're learning how to do research, you're learning how you're obviously grammar and all that stuff is included when you're writing. And so that was my main focus this year, was to do that. Now we did other things, obviously, cursive and science and some other things. He really likes science. So that turned out to be a fantastic assignment. I really enjoyed that entire process. I think he enjoyed it. He learned a lot. And the reason why I chose this as a senior is because a lot of the material you're going to research, not a lot, but some of the material you're going to research in that song is for more mature audiences, people who have been a little bit more grounded, people who have been a little bit more rooted. But it exposes them to some things that I think that they need to be exposed to. I am not about sheltering your children. I do not believe you should be doing that. I think you need to open up the world to them and let them know how dangerous and ridiculous and sometimes insane it is, and then show them that insanity. The best way to learn about reckless behavior and bad decisions is to go to an ER. People who work in an ER have seen people who have made horrible, risky decisions, and it just didn't pan out for them. And sometimes there are true accidents out there, but sometimes there are people who come into the ER who've just made horrible, horrible decisions in life, and it shows. So that's one of the things that history does. It opens up a lot of people who have succeeded in life and who have completely failed in life, and it shows that perspective. And that's why I have always said on my channel, when it comes to homeschool, is that history is your most important topic. Math is great, science is great, reading, writing, grammar, all that stuff. History is your number one subject you should be teaching effectively and efficiently in school for your children, because it just shows so much. It teaches so much. And that's one of the reasons why I liked doing this assignment with the Billy Joel song. So he made all these entries. Basically, you're writing a page per, topic. So many different things. And this one here is Nikita Khrushchev, Budapest. Let's see here, Davy Crockett. And it was more about the Disney video or movie that came out during that time frame. The World Series in Brooklyn. James Dean, the song Rock Around the Clock, the battle. There's so many. George Santana, Liberace. That's one of the things he kept telling me, Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, like some of these people were gay. I'm like, yeah, they were a little gay sometimes. Harry Truman, all these different things in here. Studebaker was one of the things I found out. I found most interesting. They tried to do the electric car thing, eons ago, back in like the 1920s, and they realized this was not a feasible option. And here we are repeating the same stupid history in our country today, and we're learning the exact same lesson. And so I think me and some friends were just discussing this recently. Maybe the idea is to get rid of the world's population, or a majority of it, so that way we can do, electric vehicles. It's more feasible. But to place the entire population on a grid like this is just not going to work. And then some of the other things, like what was the other one? The book Catcher in the Rye. You can research the book Catcher in the Rye, but the reason why Catcher in the Rye was actually in the Billy Joel song was the fact that it was in the possession of the person who tried to kill or did kill John Lennon, and also the one who tried to kill President Reagan. Is it John Brinkley or something like that? So a lot of different, you can research things, but then you have to research why they're actually in the song. And that was important too. And that was something that I wanted to try to portray, give my child the ability to do. So that was the big thing this year. And then the second thing we did was, I didn't do a math assignment. We didn't do math this year. He had reached the point of algebra last year. He hated it, most people do not like math subjects. And so we could have gone back into doing, more advanced algebra or getting into calculus or things like that. And he didn't want to do that. So what we did instead, I figured it'd be great, because we took over operations of the Perfect Pickler Company that's been out since 1994. All of these kits are now manufactured on our home, which means he has to now go out and keep track of inventory. He has to learn taxes. He has to learn budgeting. I mean, you want to turn someone into a voting conservative like overnight? Let them run a company and see how many taxes they have to pay. And so, yeah, toxic male right away. Toxic. Okay. And then also, researching the manufacturing things, so a lot of prices have been raised over this. And so we had to even raise our prices a little bit several months ago. But trying to figure out ways to go ahead and lower the price of the product manufacturing process, like researching companies. Okay, this is a company who sells to you wholesale. Now I'm going to research and get into the company who manufactures that and buy directly from them. There's a lot of life lessons and school lessons you can teach, when it comes to running a business. And so he has been doing that. We just researched a company that we've been buying from, a company that was selling a wholesale product for this kit, for part of the kit. And there's a company in Oklahoma that actually manufactures the product. So we're cutting out the middleman and going right to the manufacturer in Oklahoma to try to. So he's doing all that. That's something that's so much more valuable than anything they're going to teach you in the schools today. And I just did that video recently, but it shows you all of these schools, colleges. They're all cheating today anyway with AI in ChatGPT and all these other ones. He is the one who recently did a project for me using Claude, which is an AI, Claude. And he came to me and he said, Dad, people who program and who code, they're going to be out of a job soon. Because he has some coding experience. I made him do some things during our homeschool career where he learned the Arduino boards and all that stuff. So he's got some coding experience. In fact, he started coding Arduino back when he was 9. You can start that early. But he didn't really get into it. But he got into it enough that he understood a lot of the things. So he got this AI Claude and started programming with it for a project I wanted him to do. And he's like, Dad, this is going to put people out of jobs. It's like, it was so easy. And he made it work. He built something. He built some code, a plugin for his shop on Shopify for perfectpickler.com, and made it work, and made it work well. And he'd use the AI to do it. And meanwhile, people charging for this same plugin were charging, oodles amount of money, and he programmed it for free. People who, if you're a programmer, if you're a developer, your time is limited. Your time is limited. And this goes for most things. So it's like I'm concentrating him on learning business, on learning other things, and who knows where the world's going to be. But the reality is your child is going to be able to navigate this world much more efficiently if they are homeschooled and not public school drones. If you're sending your kids to the public schools, you're setting them up for a future failure, guaranteed 100%. We've all seen those videos of the guy who goes out to the streets and he asks these people on the street certain easy questions that everyone should know the answer to, and they can't answer them correctly. Those are all public school students. Okay, homeschools and some, to a lesser extent, private schools are getting a much better education out there. And if you want your children to succeed, you're going to have to do this. It's just the reality of the world we're living in. All aside the debauchery and all the other stuff that's in the public school systems and the colleges, you only have one answer here. So that was great. Anyway, going off on a whole other topic, we just got back from the Doug and Stacy event, had a fantastic time out there, got to meet all kinds of great people, all kinds of new people, all kinds of old people we've met before. It was our third time being out at a Doug and Stacy event. Got to meet, again, Clyde, who manufactures this garden planter. This is the fall side, and here's the spring side. Oops, it's upside down. The spring side for spring planting. All of my patrons who are at the Crockett level patron are going to be getting these. The Crockett level patrons had just got in the mail some smoked salt. Look at that. Pure Australian sea salt smoked right on the Homestead. We have a cold smoker. Anyone who is a patron, doesn't matter what level, can download the blueprints for that cold smoker. You can build it yourself. Hopefully you don't live in an HOA and you can build it yourself. But if you live out somewhere where you don't have ordinances, regulations, and zoning from a bunch of bureaucratic Karens, you can build that cold smoker, and I'll give you the blueprints for just joining at any level at patreon.com/American Homestead. But if you're at the Crockett level, you get some of the cold smoke also to show you just how amazing you can make some of these things. And then we'll be doing the Clyde's Garden Planter coming up soon for all of our Crockett level patrons. You'll be getting one of these in the mail. And I got enough from Clyde to go ahead and probably give some to some of the other patrons. So if you've been a patron long enough, I'm probably going to send you one also. Just because you've been supporting us for such a certain amount of time, even if you're at a lower level, if you've been a patron long enough, I'll probably send out some requests for your address to get one of these. And also, no matter what level you are, because I do giveaways for like all kinds of different things. You need to be keeping your profile up to date with your address so that if I just decide you win something, I can just send it to you. You should do that. Keep your profile up to date with your address. I think the profile has a private side where only you can see it and I can see it. And that way, if I want to send you something, I can. So go ahead and get that updated, and all the Crockett level patrons will be getting that soon. Other than that, I have a couple more speaking events. I'll be next time out at the Freedom Festival in Illinois. I'm looking forward to doing that. All of the hotels, by the time I got a hotel, it was like, everything was sold out. So I had to get something in like Terre Haute, Indiana, which is like 30 minutes away from the festival. But it's going to be fun. It's fine. It's great. And I'm going to be there. And then I'm going to be at, what's the other one? Oh, Missouri coming up. That's always a big one. In Marshfield, it's going to be in September. So look for me out there in Marshfield. I'm looking forward to that one. All right, guys. Love you. See you next time in the Homestead. Bye. Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit PerfectPickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's PerfectPickler.com.
Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.